Hannah by Rob Chantler. This week, Between the Sheets, written by Geoff Buckingham.
Turn that blasted Hoover off a minute, Dolly. You couldn't make me another cuppa, could you? Please?
Cool, you don't half take a lot of tea breaks. It's a great life being a boss, ain't it? And now you're reading the Staines Bugle. That letters page drives me mad. That whinging blighter is now demanding heated seats in the public conveniences in the town centre. He says he can't understand why it's so chilly in there. That bloke is always complaining about something. Anyway, I expect you were skiving away doing the crossword, all the children's puzzle.
If you weren't my sister, I'd reprimand you. Remember who got you this job? Anyway, I'm not skiving nor doing a quiz. I'm immersing myself in local issues to help empathise with the staff and the customers in this town.
Hang on, it looks like you're empathising with the football team. You've got it open onto the sports pages.
Oh, well, the pages must have been flipped over by mistake. I take my duties as a departmental manager very seriously, Dolly. I've taken a deep personal interest in my staff to optimise their attributes and maximise their potential. I treat them right and they reward me with great loyalty and affection. Look and learn. Here comes Anna. Good morning, my little sunflower. How are you this bright and delightful morning?
Get lost.
Oh, what's wrong?
I want a divorce.
Well, I'm afraid that's not possible.
Why not?
Well, you're not married to me for a start.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I meant Tim.
No, I'm not married to him either.
Oh, can you be serious for once, Tony?
She ain't half upset, Tony. What could have caused it? Has your Tim been trying out, chandelier-type positions and all that, Hannah?
No, he has not. Well, not actually with the chandelier, but anyway, that's all in the past. I hate the man.
Dolly, can you leave this to me, please? I'm experienced in dealing with such sensitive and delicate matters. Hannah, who has Tim been sleeping with? Not that buxom Daisy from the Bakers. She's always trying to force her baps on him,
Tony, watch my lips. Tim is not canoodling around with any woman. It's a lot worse than that.
You don't mean?
No, he has destroyed me. My self-esteem, gone. My pride.
Tell Uncle Tony what terrible dastardly deed Tim has committed.
He's won a competition, that's what he's done.
What? Is that all?
Not just any competition. He's won the Staines Bugle short story competition. That's what he's won.
Well, I wouldn't have thought that was a hanging offence.
It is when he goes around as if he's won the Pulitzer Prize.
What's a Pulitzer?
Oh, it's a bottle of champagne, that's what it is. When someone creates a great work of art, they get presented with bottles of Pulitzers.
That's Bollingers.
No, I think you'll find I'm right.
Anyway, what can I do about it? I love him. Don't ask me why. But I want to be treated as an equal partner, not languishing behind him with some kind of...
inferiority concept.
Complex. If you're going to interrupt my sentences, get it right. I feel just worthless, that's all.
Shouldn't you actually be proud of him and not angry?
Not when he's so downright smug about it. But Tim's really rubbing it in. He started wearing dark glasses and he's told me he's trying to get an agent. He went down to the newsagent to order 30 copies of next week's Bugle to distribute to his friends. But the last straw is when they told him they wanted to take his photo on Wednesday. He booked himself into the beauty salon for a new hairdo and some Botox treatment.
Well, I never. Tim having Botox treatment. You won't catch me having that.
It'd be a complete waste of money.
Let's cut out all this nonsense and see if we can find a solution to all this.
Yes, I must prick his bubble. He needs bringing down to earth. He needs to realise that I'm not inferior.
See if you can only match him, but beat him.
How?
Dolly, you may actually have a point there. You're not quite as daft as you look, are you? Anna, why don't you try to achieve something of literary merit yourself? That would really make him sit up and take notice.
What do you know about literature?
Dolly, I must remind you, I was very well read as a youngster.
Yeah, the Beano, the Dandy, Rupert the Bear Annual.
Anna, maybe you could write a radio sitcom.
Nah, any knobhead could do that.
She's right, I need something really challenging.
Why not try a blockbuster novel?
That's a bit overambitious, if I may say so.
Yes, that's what I'll do. Oh, but where do I find out how to do that?
That's where my very wise old head yet again comes into play. There are two alternatives. Alternative one is that you spend 40 years studying creative writing, going on courses, buying books, etc., until you're ready to write that novel of your dreams.
And the other?
You spend 1 hour asking an expert how to do it.
Well, that's easy then. Tony, you really do come up with some rubbish at times. Where the hell is Hannah going to get an expert like that?
Dolly, Anna, I am not just a pretty face. I've got a wealth of information. Think of me as a kind of walking encyclopedia with a work-smart philosophy.
Oh, that's going to take up to all 40 years. Just tell her, Tony.
Patience. I happen to know that one of Britain's greatest novelists has moved into the area. I was introduced to him only last week at the Rotary Club. Sir Theldon Openshaw. Splendid chap. Even bought me a sherry. There's some more books than P.J. Rowling, apparently.
Oh, God. Well, sounds impressive. But how can I meet him?
Easy. Here, I'll jot down his address for you. It's 16 Station Gardens. That's it. Look, I suggest you ask if we can spare you some of his valuable time to give you some tips on how to write with great impact. Then I suggest you go straight home and get cracking on that novel.
Tony, how can I thank you enough?
Don't mention it, Anna. It's what caring management is all about.
Tony, I'm so grateful. I'll take the rest of the day as a day's annual leave. Bye, Tony. Bye, Dolly.
Did you say 16 Station Gardens?
Yes, Dolly. It's an address that sticks in my mind.
That address sticks in my mind as well. I've seen it somewhere.
Yes? What do you want?
Sorry, sir, but...
Sir? About time young people like you started to show due recognition.
Don't other people call you that, sir?
Not often enough.
Oh, people can be so ignorant, can't they? Especially after all you've done and how much your work really inspires people. My boss Tony told me that more people read your work than...
Oh, did you read my latest offering?
Which one?
The Mystery of the Frozen Bogs.
No, not yet, but it really does sound intriguing. I'll have to get down to W.H. Smith's or the library. I can't wait to read it.
I'm beginning to like you after all. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, I hope you don't mind me asking you, sir, but I'm thinking of doing what you do, and I wonder if you can give me any advice and tips.
Of course I can. Are you going to write on a regular basis?
Oh, I hope so.
Good. We need more of us if we are going to make big changes in public perceptions.
That really is so admirable, sir. I was a bit worried that you might look upon the likes of me as time wasters at the worst or competitors at the best, but you make me feel like you really want me to make a difference too.
Too right I do.
Such commitment.
Look, young lady, take a seat and I will tell you a few home truths about getting your message across.
Oh, super, but firstly, may I ask you if it's okay to use indelicate language? I know how easily offended some people can be.
Look, if you want your words to be noticed, say it as it is. No point in beating around anyone's proverbial bush.
Well, what I particularly want to know, and I don't quite know how to put this, but, you know, can you actually use words that one might perhaps use in moments of temper or passion, or should I use more polite terminology?
Of course you shouldn't use polite terminology. That will get you nowhere, young lady. Describe things exactly as they are. Just how you would say them in a pub, or if you're having a natter with your close girlfriends in a wine bar. Believe you me, that way you'll have a much better chance of opening people's eyes.
Some of the words I'm thinking of using will certainly do that.
Excellent. Be very explicit if you want your writing to get noticed.
Tony, I know where I've read that address before. Here, look. It's the Staines Bugle. The problem page. Look, Mr. Angry of Staines. He's got his picture in there this week. Apparently it's his 1000th complaint.
What? Oh, that's old Blighter. That's not Sir Feldon Openshaw. Hold on a minute. Let me look carefully at his business card. Oh, Dolly. Sir Feldon lives at 16 Station Mansions.
You blithering idiot. You've sent her to the wrong place, haven't you?
And you can't get much further than that from Sir Feldon Openshaw. That Mr. Angry rants and raves about absolutely everything. Already this month he's gone on about the new charity shops, parking wardens' uniforms, and even the size of the Lady Mayor's hubcaps.
This week it's frozen bogs.
Apparently he comes from a long family of grumblers, groaners, moaners and mischief makers. His great-grandfather caused uproar in the 1880s when he accused 2 councillors of having cockfights. They'd stopped that sort of thing years before.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Probably quite painful.
Yes. Well, anyway, Anna's going to be distraught when she finds out I've mistakenly sent her to the wrong address.
Yeah, so much for your empathising with staff. When she comes in tomorrow, she's going to be livid.
Morning, Tony. What a beautiful day out there.
Anna, yes, it is a nice morning. Are you okay?
I certainly am, thanks to you.
Oh.
So, did you get all the information you needed?
Yes, I certainly did. I was so inspired that I went home and I wrote right through the night.
Didn't Tim mind?
I don't think he actually missed me. He was laying flat on his back in bed with a face pack on and cucumber slices on his eyes.
But what have you written about?
Here, take a look at this.
Right, let's have a look at this. Interesting title. War Camel.
Yeah, I thought that War Horse was such a success that it was the way to go. But I wanted something even better than that, so I was so inspired after meeting Sir Feldon. He said I have to tell things exactly as they are. What a wise gentleman he is, so I thought I would try and enhance my novel and make it more basic. My novel, based on the French Foreign Legion many years ago, in Arabia and on camels. There are lots of Frenchmen, dashing soldiers, Arabian princesses, skirmishes in the desert.
And no doubt, a hell of a lot of camel dung.
A great deal of Middle Eastern sizzling sensuality and a truly, truly wonderful love story.
Let me take a look at this. Oh my goodness, look at this. Captain Tim and Princess Hannah. Oh, I wonder what gave you that idea. Anyway, what's the name of the camel?
Tony. I thought it was the least I could do.
Oh, thank you, Anna. I feel very flattered.
This is getting quite steamy. I see what you've done here. You told the story as if through the eye of a camel, haven't you? Oh, what about this bit? How did you know about that? I wouldn't have thought that would be easy on a camel. How does a camel know about this sort of thing?
Easy. A camel keeps popping his head through the top of the tent and sees what's going on.
Oh, perish the thought. Can you imagine what it'd be like for a poor girl to be lying down and looking up, only to see a pair of bulging eyes, big airy nostrils and a salivating mouth looking down at her?
Yeah, I certainly can. Anyway, I must go. I'm going back to make some final corrections and then I'm going to send out copies to all the top publishing houses.
The world could be your lobster, Hannah.
Dolly, it's oyster.
Sorry, the oyster could be your lobster, Hannah.
Well, fingers crossed.
Hi, darling. Are you okay in there? You've been very quiet.
Oh, it's okay. I've just been catching up with some of my personal correspondence, aunts and uncles, things like that, you know.
Oh, really? Can I have a look?
Oh, no, I don't want him to see this. Where can I hide it? He'll be here in a second. I know, I'll shove it in this big envelope here.
Oh, darling, where are your letters?
Oh, I haven't started them yet. I couldn't think of what to say.
Oh, bless you, you are sweet. It's not easy for you writing, is it? I really don't know how I wrote that prize-winning story for the Staines Bugle. Somehow I did. Anyway, despite that fame, I'm still prepared to help my fellow citizen. I promised the vicar of St Cedric's that I would go over the accounts for him. They're in dire financial straits, and I've listed a number of areas for cost-cutting. Now, where did I leave them? Ah, here they are in that large brown envelope. Right, I'll be off now.
Tim, no, you can't.
Oh, please, I'll only be gone for half an hour. I've got to be back soon for my next face pack. Anyway, must go. The vicar needs these for his committee meeting this evening. Bye, Hannah.
No, Tim, please, you don't understand.
No, let go of the envelope. Hannah, I do. I know quite a lot about accounts, actually, and I think I've got a surprise for Reverend Pickles with what I've got in this envelope. Bye.
Oh, no. He might be going to church, but it's going to be hell when he gets there.
Thank you all for being here at this very special, extraordinary general meeting. I didn't bring you all here very lightly. I have something very special indeed to tell you all about. It's no secret that we've been going through very, very tough times indeed. My good friend Tim here has always been using his expertise to identify a few things that we should all be paying a lot of attention to. Isn't that right, Tim?
Yes, Reverend Pickles. Between these sheets are some details that might astound you, surprise you, and maybe make your blood pump even faster.
Well, don't keep us up waiting. Tell us what you have to tell us.
Here you are. I give it to the church, herewith.
Very well, then. I will open the envelope. Here. My goodness. You really have been busy, Tim, haven't you?
Yes, I didn't realise I'd written quite as much as that.
A couple of quite strange little diagrams as well. Right, let's see. Oh, my goodness. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we had better take a break.
Something come up?
You could say that. In more ways than one.
Oh, hello, darling. You're a bit late.
Yes, I'm a bit late, aren't I? Aren't you going to ask why?
Creative accounting, perhaps?
Oh, very funny. Although I guess there was something rather creative about shoving a ridiculous pornographic script in with the set of accounts that I had meticulously prepared for them. I was hoping to open their eyes, but not that wide.
Oh, look, darling, I really am so sorry.
Why did you do it? You've totally humiliated me, and 3 members of the congregation had to lie down afterwards. He thinks I wrote War Camel.
Oh, have you got the ump?
Not funny.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Ah, so the graphic descriptions of a cross between Lawrence of Arabia and Wurzel Gummidge humping away on top of a camel? It's just a slip of the pen, was it?
No, what I mean is I didn't mean to put it in the envelope. I was trying to keep it a secret from you until I'd had a chance to send it to a publisher.
Why did you want to do that?
Well, I know it seems stupid now, but I was very put out when you started showing off and becoming arrogant after you'd won that short story competition.
You didn't believe that, did you?
What do you mean?
It was a gigantic wind-up. When I opened that envelope last Saturday, it was yet again a rejection slip. My short story hadn't even qualified for the competition. It was too long. I didn't keep to the right subject, it wasn't up to their usual standard, and on top of that, I posted it 2 days late. For a bit of fun, to keep my spirits up, I jokingly said I'd won first prize. When I saw the look of envy and disgust on your face, I guess I just felt driven to letting the joke go on a bit longer. And I built on it from there.
So, you didn't go to have your photo done? And the Botox was just a joke? And the face pack was all part of it as well? Oh, Tim, I do love you, but I could wring your neck.
Well, you've got the whole congregation full of people who now want to wring my neck.
But it wasn't you that wrote that script, it was me.
Well, I know, but when they asked me, I thought the decent thing to do would be to take the blame.
Oh, that was really very magnanimous of you, darling, but you didn't need to do it. Although it does fit in quite well with the answer I gave when the Reverend Pickles phoned me when you were on your way back here.
Oh, what did he ask you?
He said he'd like to be a fair man and give you the benefit of the doubt, Tim. So he asked me if that script was anything to do with me.
And what did you say?
That it was all down to you.
Oh, thanks a billion. I'll probably have to leave the area now. Just think, I'll be an outcast in my prime.
I'll cut you off in your prime if you don't shut up whining. It was very nice of you, Tony and Dolly, to call round to see how I am.
Well, Anna, I know things haven't been easy between the two of you.
Would you like a cup of coffee, Dolly, Tony?
Oh, yes,
yeah.
please, yes.
Oh, look, I don't believe it. It's the Reverend Pickles' wife, Glenda.
Blimey, she's a lot younger than Reverend Pickles, isn't she? A lot more modern looking as well. It's good to see that not everybody in that church is from a Dickens novel.
She's probably called round to deliver my one-way ticket to eternal damnation.
Or perhaps invite you to a nice tarring and feathering.
Oh, Tim, I'm so pleased to see you.
You are?
Oh, yes, a true artist.
You think so?
I certainly do. When Michael came home last night, he looked very dejected and dispirited indeed. To be honest, he looked rather depressed. He actually had a little tipple of whiskey. Well, to be honest with you, quite a few tipples. In fact, he was waking his way through the entire bottle. But I stopped him and asked him what had caused him so much grief. He then told me. So I started to look at this manuscript that you'd written, Tim. As you know, I'm Michael's second wife. It was agreed between us that I would continue my job in publishing. Since that time, very much due to my dear husband's devoted support, I have risen to become publishing editor at Huckleberry and Wimpole Publishers.
Huckleberry and Wimpole Publishers?
Yes, the very same. Do you know we've been looking endlessly for new talent and material that can rival 50 Shades of Grey? And now I believe that at last we have found it. War Camel will knock their flaming socks off.
I think it'll knock even more than that off.
Anyway, this is the deal. I can authorise my company to give an advance of £100,000.
What?
You heard me. £100,000.
That really will be a godsend.
There really are a lot of things that can be paid for out of that. That's really super.
Yes, it is, Hannah, and how very, very generous of your husband, Tim, to have donated that script to the church.
Donated?
Yes, what a star he is. Michael was reflecting this morning how he just didn't realise the full implications of what Tim meant when he said last night, in front of the entire committee, "I give it to the church herewith." Tim really is an absolute brick.
I was thinking something similar myself.
And Now, with £100,000, the church does not have to go through all those painful cost-cutting procedures, such as doing without the finest vintage red Merlot wine in communion and quilted blue paper, etc. Plus it can now pay for those urgent roof repairs and get a new organ.
I know someone else who might be needing one of those.
Tim and Hannah will not be forgotten. Our chief steward, Agnes McTrotter, has authorised a very special gift for you. 2 tickets to our Veteran Ladies Club Wind Ensemble annual concert.
I can't wait.
That's very generous of them.
Oh, and just one more thing. We need lots and lots of publicity photos, TV, newspaper and radio interviews, and of course 1 or 2 makeovers.
Oh, absolutely no problem at all, Glenda. When do you need me?
Oh, Hannah, I didn't mean you. I meant the author, Tim. He's going to be such a celebrity in this town.
Of course, Glenda. Only too happy to oblige.
Oh, Tim, you are a darling, and so very talented too. Hannah, aren't you just so very proud of him?
Proud is not the word. You really are a twit. £100,000 advance and you give it away. And for what? 2 tickets to a sodding Wind concert? I can get one of those without leaving the bedroom.
Oh, stop going on. I only gave them the advance. I'll still get the royalties.
I wrote it and you get the credit and the royalties. That's just not fair.
OK, then I'll tell Glenda to name you as the assistant author and you can share the royalties.
Oh, very noble of you, Tim.
Good, glad that's sorted then. Now, how about Captain Tim and Princess Hannah replicate what happened on page 289? But without the desert bit.
Of course! We wouldn't want our famous author to get sand in his wife fronts, would we?
You have been listening to Sue Ford as Hannah, Robert Chantler as Tim, Geoff Buckingham as Tony, Philippa Stuart as Dolly, Robert Hardy as the gentleman, Alan Saunders as Reverend Pickles, and Olwen Holme as Glenda. Highly Strung Hannah was written and directed by Robert Chantler. The audience coordinator was Matt Richards, and the producer was Victoria Lawrence. This has been a Free Theatre Company production.